Hey guys, Fred here, V3FAL, Ontario Northwest Bushcrafter and Outdoors, and what I want to do today is just try and show you guys and walk you through doing the newest upgrade for the X5105. So I'm going to take you through also some of the things that I found today, some of the issues trying to do the upgrade. See if I can replicate that for you, just in case the same thing happens to you. So first thing you need to do though is you have to set up an account at the Zygu webpage, which is www.cqzygu.com, and set up an account so you can download the new firmware. And once you're in, you can navigate through the page and you look for X5105. And what we find is we have X5105 firmware version 1003 build 27, which was dated 2nd of November. And there's also a list here of what has been added, and they've done a lot of different things to it this time around. They even put in a Psk decoder that works extremely well so far from what I've used. So what you want to do is you want to download the folder or the file. The file is going to be a zipped file, so save that file. It's actually in a RAR file is what it is. And what you're gonna do is we are gonna go to downloads. I have everything set to a download folder, so I'm just gonna go, oh, wrong one, let me go into here. Okay, and I'm going to go into downloads. Okay, and I'm going to find that folder, which is right here. Alright. So what I want to do is I'm just going to slide that folder over to here, to my desktop. And I'm going to have to open that folder up. Alright, so if you haven't installed the software for it, you can install Winzip, which is free. I don't have Winzip on this computer right now, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pause this and I'm going to go and download Winzip on this computer, because this is the computer that I use for updating the 5105. What I've been doing is just unzipping it on another computer and bringing the files over. So I'm going to just do that. Actually, no, I don't have to, because I already have the folder here. I already unzipped it and brought it over. So this is the folder here that I'm talking about. So once you unzip it, put this folder to your desktop. When you open this folder, you're going to find a couple things in here. You're going to find this TerraTerm is in there. You'll find that in there, and you will also find the firmware upgrade, which is this one. So let me bring them back into the folder. So you'll find these in the folder. Then what it's going to ask you to do is, if you haven't already installed the driver for the cable that came with the Zygu, right? This is the cable. What you're going to do is you can install the cable, and because I already have the drivers in, I know that my computer sees the driver, and generally we'll see it on COM port 3 or on COM port 5, depending on where I plug it in. So what I want to show you guys is this TerraTerm here. If I try to open it up inside the mother folder, I call it, this is what happens. It tells me I have a runtime error. So I think that this folder that Zygu has is a protected folder. So what I need to do then is I need to take the entire TerraTerm folder, and I'm just going to pull it over to my desktop. So I've got that on the desktop. Then I'm just going to leave this folder in here for now, the new what do you call it? The new firmware folder, and I'm just going to leave that over here as well. All right. Build 27. So this is actually the one I need to put back into this folder. I had the wrong one in there. I apologize. So I have TerraTerm on the desktop. So now what I can do is I can actually open TerraTerm, and I can go to the application, and what you're going to see is it's going to open up. So once this screen opens up, what it's telling you now is it's going to look for your COM port. Don't fill in the host. You're going to see the word host here. Don't fill that in. We are going to use the serial port. So what we do is we click on serial port. Alright. We click on OK. Once we've clicked on OK, what we're going to do is we're going to go to setup. I am going to plug the cable into the radio to the CIV port. Alright. And then what it's going to tell us to do is to set up the serial port. We're going to go on the serial port, and what we want to do is we want to make sure that we have this set to 115.2. Alright, so we're going to go to 115.2, and we're going to click OK. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to power up the radio by holding the volume up down button, and I'm going to plug the power in. And then from that point on, what we should see is we should see the data light up, which is indeed lit up. Alright, then what we're going to do is we're going to go back here. Alright, and then, alright, so then what we're going to do is, once we're in and we're hooked up to the computer, what we then want to do is we want to hit the space bar. Once we've got everything set up, we would hit the space bar on the computer. So what I'm going to do is I've got everything plugged in. I'm going to X out of there. I have everything plugged in now. I have the radio turned on, so what I am going to do now is I'm going to go to TerraTerm Pro. Once you've done that, we're going to turn it on. We're going to use the prolific USB to serial port. Alright, click OK. And we're going to go to Setup. We're going to go to Serial Port. We're going to set up to 115.2. Click OK. We hit the space bar, and we note our fields come up here that ask us what we want to do. So once you've unzipped the folder and you've got it on a separate place on your desktop, plug your cable in, your data cable, plug it into the radio, hold the volume buttons up and down, and plug the external power in. You have to use external power. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe out the existing data on the 5105. To do that, I hit number 1. And what's going to do is it's going to tell me that the erase process is already taking place. Once that is done, I get this. It says application flash erase OK. Now what it's going to do is it's going to allow me to load the new software. Pardon me guys, it's just this. I don't have much room in this room and I've got to wiggle things around here. So in order to do that, what I want to do is I want to go to File. I'm going to show you guys what happens now if I try this. I want to go to Transfer. You have to go to Psk Modem. Alright, and you go to Send. Then what you're going to do is you're going to look for your folder that is the new firmware. What I'm going to show you guys is what was happening because it's still in the mother folder. So I'm going to go to this folder that I call the mother folder, and I'm going to find build 27, not the RAR. I want the XGF file. When I click open, nothing happens. It's not doing anything. And at first I thought I bricked the radio, and then I realized that I didn't brick the radio. I thought I'm going to try something else, because once I did that and I couldn't get this to transfer, I had the old file on the desktop. The last one, number 18, I had on desktop, and it loaded automatically from the desktop. So what I done then was I simply X'd out of this. Okay, close it up. Then what I did was I went back into the so-called mother folder. And what I do is I take the XGF file, put it to the desktop. Alright. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to open up TerraTerm once again. So we're going to go to TerraTerm. Same thing, click on Serial, go to OK, go to Setup, and we're going to set up the serial port, COM port 3 at 115.2, click OK, and hit, oh, this happened to me before, I'm glad it happened now. There's something funny happens there. Let's close these. go back to TerraTerm. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unplug the power to the radio. Okay, I'm going to push the up down buttons again. Plug the power in until my data light's on. I'm going to go to TerraTerm. We're going to go to TerraTerm Pro. We're going to go back to Serial. We're going to go to OK. We're going to go to Setup. We're going to go to our serial port. Set that to 115.2. Click OK. Hit the space bar, and here we go. So we've already erased the application in the radio. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Setup. No, sorry. We're going to go to File. We're going to transfer a file using Psk Modem. We're going to send. It's going to ask us which file we want to send. So because I put it to my desktop, I am going to go to my desktop, and I'm going to choose the newest firmware, which is right here, build 27. Once I've done that, I hit open, and then I get this fancy window that pops up that's going to tell me how much time, elapsed time, while this folder is this file is transferred. All right. So it won't allow me to do this right now because I backed out and I went back out. So what I need to do though now is I need to cancel this. All right. And I'm going to do the bootloader application. So I'm going to erase it once again for you guys to confirm that it is erased. Okay, so it has erased. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to File. I'm going to send file, and I did miss one step, or sorry, transfer. Psk Modem, send. I did miss one step. You must click this option 1K down at the bottom. All right. And I'm going to find my folder, or my file, which is the XGF file. I hit open, and now it's sending all the data to the radio. So that takes, what, maybe 19 seconds, 20 seconds to transfer that data. Once that's done, the radio will turn itself off, and it will go back to charging state or whatever state you've got the radio in, and then you'll be all set to go. But the files have to be outside of the mother file. As I said, they all have to be on your desktop in order for them to work. For some reason, once they're inside that mother folder, they will not work. And I tested it to make sure. I'm running Windows 7. Windows 8 should work. If you can find a driver that will work for this USB cable, then you might be able to use Windows 10, but it wouldn't work on my Windows 10 computer. I think it kept telling me that that chip was a clone, and it wouldn't work. So we're at 61% right now. All right. And this is the newest firmware that's going over. And as I said, there is some pretty neat stuff on here I still have to get used to on the radio. So elapsed time now is 1 minute since it started. We're at 85%. All right, 90. All right. So there you go. It says here the transfer finished on the bottom on the screen. The radio reset itself here to its charging screen. So now what I can do is I can turn the radio on. I'll just quickly show you guys some of the things that have changed on here. So if we look at the radio itself, nothing looks different at the moment. But there's a lot of things that have changed. To access the menu now, you hit menu. You'll notice that the menu number flashes. To go through that, you actually turn the tuning button to get through. The other thing that they've done now is they've added a speaker headphone control. So right now I'm on speaker. We can see the speaker here. I go to headphone. And what it does is it drops the audio way down for a headphone, and I can also verify that it does work now on CW, and it takes the CW level down to a point where it's actually very comfortable to listen to. So they've also added that. They've also added here different filter options. Your high pass filter that you can adjust, your low pass filter you can also adjust in this for your AF in this setup here. What they've also done, let me plug the antenna in. Alright, is They have, we'll go back to speaker, turn the volume up. The speaker volume doesn't seem as loud as it was before. But again, you know, you can control that stuff with your filters. So what I want to show you guys is I want to show you the modem. So what they've done is they've added a Psk receive modem. So you go to Psk modem, and what you do is you would scroll up and down to your frequency, and sure enough, so right away here I have already locked on to Alpha Victor, or Alpha 5 Victor Victor Delta, working a station. You can see it's copying extremely well. It's copying extremely fast. I have AFC on. Not sure what the carrier is yet. I haven't figured that out, and I'm not sure yet if this transmits Psk just like the MCHF does, or the KX2, but we're going to find out. But right now the Psk decoder is working 100%. It's not missing a beat here. It's working extremely well. Alright, so we can go to the other menus. We can leave that screen on. Just take you guys through. Things are still the same here. A equals B. Your filter selection again. You know, your different options for your filters. Okay, I'm in CW mode here at the moment, down at this portion of the band. So let me just back out of here. Let's go to mode, upper sideband. There we go. So let's tune one of these guys. Have to get even finer here. I have a hard time tuning here. The CW decoder, or the Psk decoder, was working really well when I had it on CW. Oh, just tried to lock on there. So it's picking up signals on CW, so I have to play with it. It might just be my filter setting, so I'll have to play with the filters maybe just a little bit on upper sideband. But as of right now, it's working. There's KA5 Victor Victor Delta with N4KP again. and it's receiving these guys 100% once I've locked onto them. Alright guys, thanks for watching. This is Fred, VE3FAL, Ontario Northwest Bushcrafter and Outdoors. 7-3 guys.